Control 2802 from Focusrite is the first mixing desk from Focusrite for over 20 years. So really it's a return to the spiritual home of the company. The 2802 gives you the sound of analogue in your DAW session, which is still a very prized aesthetic in the digital world. We all seek to model the sound of analogue with our plugins, but with the 2802 you've got the real thing. You can mix or sum up to 32 inputs on this console, which, if you think about it, is a much more natural way to combine signals together. So running through some of the top features of this desk, from top to bottom, you get 8 high quality premium Class A mic preamps. And one of the best things about these really is the direct outputs on each channel. So you can send the audio out of the mic pre, either pre or post, fully or partially, the whole channel strip, so you get the purest signal of just the microphone preamp. You've got extensive routing options within each channel. So you have a Q bus, 2 auxiliary sends, but you can also use the desk in a kind of pseudo inline mode, where you can have an alternate input for each channel running down the Q bus, which is useful when it comes to summing later on. The Control 2802 actually has a total of 32 input channels, making it the perfect summing mixer. As well as having numerous line inputs, you also have a dedicated 8-channel summing mixer. The frequency response of the desk is close to 120 kHz, which obviously you can't hear, but that generates harmonics at the lower frequencies that you can hear. A big part of what gives the 2802 its sound is the bus compressor, which is by default built into the main mix bus. It's quite a transparent but also very fat sounding compressor, especially useful with the parallel compression through the wet and dry mix control. Another extremely useful feature of the bus compressor is the external button, which actually routes it to its own set of inputs and outputs and allows you to effectively take it out of the desk and use it in any other part of the studio or repatch into channels on the 2802, for instance. The monitor section on the 2802 is particularly well thought out. It's a nice little engineer's toolbox of functions. So you have obviously your main monitor control with dim, cut controls. You actually have a dim level control as well, so you can adjust that. You've got an alternate speaker button for a second set of monitors, headphone controls, but the part that makes this really useful is this section right here, where you can invert the polarity of the audio, flip to mono, and also cut the left and right side as well, because a lot of engineers will find it easier to hear phasing issues just from one source. Also built into the monitor section is the ability to mix and match different sources together. So you can monitor the main mix bus, or you can hit the source button and monitor a variety of different elements from around the 2802, such as the auxiliaries or just the DAW mix. I mentioned earlier about the 2802 also being a fully featured DAW controller via QE. So let's take a look at some of the useful workflow enhancements that you get using this also as a control surface. So to enable the 2802 for door control, just hit the door button, and that then flips the faders into their second layer, which is the door control layer. Door control on the 2802 gives you access to a lot of the standard functions you'd expect to see from a modern day DAW controller. Controlling an insert on the 2802 is quick and easy to perform. I just hit the insert button, select my channel with the function that I want to use, and then I immediately have access to all of the parameters within that plugin. The OLED display makes it bright and clear, so I can easily see what I'm controlling. The Control 2802 is designed to naturally enhance your DAW workflow. Operations such as creating a group, for instance, are very easy to perform on the 2802. Simply select group mode, select the channels you want to be part of this group, and it's done. General operation of the unit is very slick and very easy. Banking between channels, controlling operations on the OLED display, switching between the DAW and the analogue layer is all very simple. Recording quick fade rides on the 2802 is very quick and very simple, just by selecting the automation modes on the OLED display and then riding the faders within the DAW. The same thing can be said for automating the tweaks made on plugins using the OLED display controls. The 2802 is a really smart purchase for any studio owner, because if you think about the price of buying 8 high quality mic pre's, routing matrix, 32 input summing mixer, bus compressor, DAW controller and monitoring controller, you'd be looking to spend probably at this level of quality, probably at least 3 times the price of a 2802.